Hey everybody, it's your pal Trandell. Welcome back to another Once Human video. Now, this one is going to be interesting. And I wanted to get it out there because I'm really curious how this plays out. Not only with the future of Once Human, but with many other games like it. Now, as I was going through my news feed a couple days ago, I came across some very interesting articles that caught my eye. And I want to share one of them with you because I think it could have possibly a pretty big impact on Once Human, especially when it comes to the Wish Machine. Now, if you've seen some of my other opinion pieces about the game, you will all know that I do not like the Wish Machine. I honestly hate gacha mechanics in games. I hate how a lot of games, especially in the free-to-play market, but sometimes even outside of that, you're starting to see that become more prevalent within recent years. How game developers are resorting to gacha mechanics, gambling mechanics, especially when those mechanics, require or can be used using real world money. I do not like it. I absolutely despise it. And as you know, I don't care for the Wish Machine. And it's not just me. Many people in the Once Human community absolutely hate this mechanic. And this is one of our biggest concerns when it comes to the fact that the game could end up being pay to win. And for any of you that aren't familiar with this, we'll go into a quick breakdown real fast, and then I'll pull up the article so you can see why I'm really, really curious how this plans out. So, the Wish Machine you can get through a quest in the game that allows you to build an in-base item that we're seeing here. Now, what this item does, it allows you to use the seasonal currency to basically gamble on getting blueprints for, honestly, some of the best gear in the game. Pretty much all the best gear in the game is locked behind this mechanic. Outside of, the one time you open up Mysterious Chest in Strongholds, the only other possible way reliably to get blueprints is through this mechanic. And just to give you an idea, some of the things that are available through here, I mean, this is just one list. And again, these are, some of the best pieces of gear and weapons that you can get in the game, and they're all locked behind this gacha mechanic. Basically, you play this stupid little game, and I'll show you right now what I'm talking about. Let's do... God, I hate this stupid thing. So I've gotten 6 out of that. Let's do Echoes from the Rift. All right. And there you go. And you don't even get, like, full blueprints. Most of the time you're only going to get fragments, which are honestly basically worthless. Because, again, the only place you can get most of the blueprints is through this mechanic. So you basically just have to keep on grinding, for the Starchroms. And it's just a horrible, horrible game mechanic. And the reason why so many of us are concerned that the game is going to be pay to win, because, and let's be real, people keep on saying, oh, they've made it super clear it's not going to be pay to win. No, actually, they have not. And I've showed literally there's only one sentence that NetEase and Starry Night have talked about pay to win aspects, and they don't come out and straight out say that there will be no pay to win. No, the line literally says our main focus is going to be cosmetic, not our only focus. And what's really concerning is, as of where things stand currently, that Starchrom currency I just showed you, well, it's also used in the seasonal shop for cosmetics. So this is where a lot of us get really concerned, is so far the only currency that's used for cosmetics is also the same currency being used for the wish machine. So, like, if they put Starchroms in their cash shop, then yes, the game will be 100% pay to win. Because, again, the only place you can get these blueprints as of right now that I have been able to confirm is through the wish machine. So, yeah, that is a huge, huge issue. And the reason why a lot of us are concerned about pay-to-win mechanics in the future. Now, getting to the article that I found the other day and others like it, let's go ahead and pull that up. So, one of the articles, the first article I found was actually from Reuters, but I also found this one too. Now, as you can see from the the title, yeah, this was a huge, huge thing that happened the other day. So, Tencent loses 54 billion as China airs new online gaming rules. Now, some of you might be asking, okay, well, what does Tencent have to do with, Once Human or anything? Well, when we go down some, you will also see. Now, does this article, or was it one of the other ones? It might have been one of the other ones. The other one I read, right here. So, this action saw Tencent share plummet by around 16%, with a loss of around 54 billion, while NetEase, who is the publisher / co-developer of the games, NetEase's value collapsed by almost 30%. Now, why are these companies losing so much money? So basically, the gist of it is that the Chinese government just passed a big, huge, regulation law that is putting some hard brakes when it comes to in-game spending, how much players can, spend in games, things like, login rewards, all kinds of stuff. Now, here's some of the new rules and why this might matter. So here's the first one. Online games must set spending limits. Online games must ban daily login rewards. The players who stream their games not being able to receive large tips, that doesn't really have much to do with gaming itself and what we're talking about. But this right here, this is what caught my eye. Probability-based luck draws must not be offered. Again, probability-based luck draws must not be offered. So, going back to our wish machine, that is literally all the wish machine is. It's a probability, and not only that, but it literally says so in the mechanics itself. Probability log right here. So, now again, this isn't definite. There's definitely ways NetEase can get around it. Anybody who's ever looked into or has any familiarity when it comes to games being released in China compared to other parts of the world, you already know there are some games that have completely, totally different mechanics when you play them in China compared to other parts of the world. Now, one of the ways NetEase could get around this is, when they release the game in China, they could go ahead and take all these things out, but then keep them in, the rest of the regions, of course, outside of, places like the EU, most likely, because the EU and other countries as well also have pretty strict regulations when it comes to gacha mechanics, gambling mechanics and stuff like that in their games too. And then us unfortunate players in the U.S., primarily, we might still be stuck with this bullshit because unfortunately, capitalism's our only real true god in America, so we could be stuck with this garbage. But they might also just say, hey, you know what? It's not worth it going through all these different hoops and having different versions and different mechanics and different regions and stuff like that. And they might just get rid of it. So it's still not 100%, but the fact that China has put a kibosh on it, and since the Chinese video game market is absolutely ginormous when it comes to certain types of games like Once Human being one of them, it could mean that hopefully, knock on wood, hopefully the Wish Machine is going to go bye-bye, or at least its current mechanic will drastically change so that this game can be released in China and not have to deal with all those regulatory new rules and things like that. We can definitely hope. Again, I absolutely hate this mechanic. I think all blueprints should be available. You can gate them behind bosses, The game definitely needs more end game content. The game definitely needs more PvE content. Right now, outside of, bosses and silos and some public events, the PvE aspect side of things is lacking in some areas. PvP players have the whole frontier battle mechanic. They have workshop defense that they can deal with and use. If you put blueprints behind boss battles as, reward drops or make some type of raid content. Now, there are a couple public events that 100% can be considered raids. The problem is I almost never see anybody interacting with them. I think it's the Dakini public event. It actually seems kind of interesting and kind of cool, but every single time I've tried interacting with it, I've always been the only one there. Nobody shows up, and it's basically impossible to do that event by yourself. If you ever interacted with it or seen it, it's basically... Actually, let's take a quick look, see real fast. So actually, this is it right here. And as you see, it is a level 50 encounter, even though it is down here on the Broken Delta, because again, it's basically supposed to be a raid mechanic, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. This right here would be a perfect way to introduce blueprints into the game outside of the Wish Machine, and to get people more involved with, interacting with each other and getting them out into the game world. So just to show you what this looks like, as you can see, I am barely touching this guy. And that's its weak spot. Like, if you shoot it anywhere else, yeah, you're not doing any sort of damage. You basically have to shoot these pedals. And I'll even pop my, So yeah, I again, as you can see, I am big. Oh shit! Yeah, this is bad. So this little sparkly purple effect basically puts a massive pollution debuff on you when it happens, and you basically just gotta run. So again, I mean, even with my weapon active online, I am doing next to no damage to this thing. This definitely is a, a group event that needs to be done. Anyways, let's get on out of here before I waste any more ammo. Let's see if I can get back to my base. Yeah, okay. But yeah, so, and again, as you saw, I was the only person there. There was absolutely nobody else doing that event anywhere near it at first. Okay, I thought I heard somebody. Yeah, there was nobody else at all doing that event. That right there is a perfect example of an in-game mechanic that you can use to incentivize people to, interact with and meet up with other players by taking blueprints out of the freaking wish machine and putting them as rewards for that, raid type content. That would definitely draw players to it, and want, players would want to be involved with. So again, that article could very well possibly change things, and hopefully it does, because this wish machine is not a great mechanic at all. It has a lot of people in the community very concerned about pay to win, and its future in one's human. So hopefully, NetEase and Starry Night will reconsider this. Again, you can put blueprints, behind bosses as boss rewards. Put them behind those, events like the one we just did. Create public events that do require, well organized, big groups, or just big groups to actually, defeat these like world level bosses, so they can get those blueprints and not have to worry about this gotcha gambling bullshit right here. Anyways, I wanted to share that article with you. I'll go ahead and post a link in the description so you can all take a look at it too. And I thought it was a very interesting read. And again, there's quite a few other news organizations talking about it, because it is a big thing. I mean, $54 billion to just go poof basically overnight. That caught a lot of people off guard. And it's not just companies like Tencent and NetEase that got hit. Even other companies like EA and Ubisoft, even their shares took a little bit of a ding too, because again, those companies, those developers, those publishers also use some of those same mechanics, login rewards, gotcha gambling mechanics in some of their games too. And now the Chinese government was like, yeah, nah, that's not going to fly anymore. So it will be very interesting going forward what that new law, what the outcomes of it might be. So I wanted to get the video out there and let you all know about the situation, since, again, this wish machine is a hot topic and one of concern for many of us in the Once Human community. Anyways, as always, everybody, thank you. I appreciate you all. I hope you're all having a beautiful, wonderful weekend. And as always, please take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Until next time, this is your pal Trandell, signing out.